question before we start, so that, all right. So if you could all hear me, probably you could raise your hand so that we could start. Everybody, all right, that's fine. That's good. All right, that's a good indication.
It's okay.
So I think we could start now. Thank you very much, Mr. Abdelouahed, for this opportunity.
Welcome.
It's indeed interesting, yeah, to share about teaching online, especially when we talk about language skills. And English is all about skills. It is all about the language and how to teach.
Please, guys, if it's possible, you mute your. All right.
Probably you could mute yourselves.
It's okay. Yeah. It's okay.
Thank you very much.
Go on.
Right. So yeah, I start with a presentation to talk about my insights when it comes to teaching language skills online. All right.
Yeah.
So the presentation is, I think, okay. Probably you could enable my screen sharing, Mr. Abdelouahed, because I could not share my screen with other participants.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, let me allow you. Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Go on.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. So can everyone see what I'm seeing here? So teaching language skills online, principles, tips, and technical considerations. Now, when we talk about English, the one thing that comes to mind as teachers is we're talking here about the 4 skills. We're talking about listening, all right, reading, speaking, and writing. But before I start my presentation, I would like to point into a very important, let's say, quote from a book written by Morals and Ferreira in 2008 on page number 96, just a theoretical part of this presentation. He mentioned that unlike face-to-face learning, when working in virtual contexts, the oral skill is weakened, since existing technologies do not have a solid methodological base for its maximum development. And by this quote, the focus here is on how technological considerations are not the only resource a teacher could use. It is all up to the methodology, to the pedagogies when you teach online. What kind of activities, what kind of integrations, let's say workshops you use and other resources that are available online. So moving on, let's talk about just about the 4 skills, just to have a kind of like a glimpse into what are they very quickly. Primary skills, which are receptive and productive. We all know them. We've been through this whole teaching, listening, reading, speaking, and writing. And when it comes to sub-skills, and each receptive and productive skills includes grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, non-verbal, collocation, and usage. So am I clear here? Because I have other people here
okay,
at the coffee shop where they're talking as well. So, all right.
Guys, please mute your microphone. Thank you.
Hello. So moving on, we are going to talk about this diagram here.
Hello.
Right? This graph.
All right.
Hello, Mr. Taoufik. Did you move to the next slide, because we are all seeing still the first slide? If you have moved
in the first slide.
Yes. That's
okay. Yeah. Please make sure.
Are you all still on the first slide? Language skills?
Yeah, it's the same slide. Yeah, you know
moving on to the next slide.
Title
now,
slide.
Could you see the pedagogy and technology for online language learning?
No, great. No change at all. Great. The slides are not changing.
Forward. There is a problem. You are still in the first slide.
So probably let's just check the internet connection.
Great. Yeah. Problem might be
one of the main problems of online teaching, I guess.
Yeah, great. With the connection, the connection should be very fast, right? And maybe Mr. Taoufik is not in the office. Maybe great. That's why he's having some troubles. Right.
Yeah, technical issues. Could everyone hear me now? Could we?
Okay. Yeah. No,
again?
it's fine.
All right.
Yeah. Give it another try and see.
So are you all in this slide here where I have community of inquiry, the figure, pedagogy and technology for online language learning?
Community of inquiry, and that's it. This is the slide that is shown right now. Displayed.
Yes, in fact.
All right, very important when we talk about teaching online, especially languages. We think of this diagram here where we have online distance education, which is split into two important basics. We have to take into consideration as tutors online. We're talking here about the pedagogy you're using and about the information and communication technologies you use to do that, to teach online. So when talking about these two, the most important part of this all is the community of inquiry. It's the type of students you're teaching. Are the adults, children, kids, advanced, beginners, intermediate? So everything is centered towards this, because when we talk about community of inquiry, or as referred to as COI, we're talking here about the type of learner. So moving on, let's talk about each side individually so that we could explain more. So when we talk about transactional distance theory, we're talking about here the way of transmitting that message to your learner.
Okay.
All right. So we have, Speaking of transactional distance theory, we have instructional dialogue, the structure, and autonomy. Instructional dialogue means the language you use to talk to your students, the way you use it, and also the structure, the way you plan your lessons. We're going to talk about lesson planning as well. And autonomy, the way you follow up on students to check their progress, if they have learned what you want to teach them. Going back again to the diagram. So could everyone hear me?
Yeah. Come on, right. Yeah.
All right, great. So here, an important point I want to mention is constructivism. And here, when we talk about constructivism, we talk about the something that is the foundation of teaching languages. Sorry, I'm having here technical issues. It lags a little bit, but I don't know about you, everyone. If it's again.
The slide is the same. Community of inquiry.
Yes.
Okay.
So is it all clear?
Yeah.
Moving on, here we have language teaching pedagogy, and we're talking about the community approach we use to teach language. All of these here on the side of pedagogy could be met or successfully accomplished if we have the others, which is information and communication technologies that we use. We're talking about the materials, the laptop, the microphone, the camera, whatever that is technology related. The way we use it is very essential into making everything on the other side happen. And the virtual learning environment, I'm going to talk about them in the next slides, of course, and the computer-assisted language learning. So quickly, I'm going to move because probably 15 minutes is not that much. Here about the what I've mentioned in the diagram before, the virtual learning environment. It really depends on the type of students you're teaching. So if you're teaching kids and beginners, students who are between, let's say, 5 to 15 years old or less, you want to have a setup that meets those criteria, that makes the learning appealing to them, where they could see shapes, different diagrams, different objects, so that you could use those objects while teaching, probably during the conferencing, so that you could show them on the camera the things you're talking about, or probably just make that learning fun. So the classroom setup is essential, and it depends on the type of the learner you're dealing with. The next picture is a classroom setup for advanced learners. It is a little bit, let's say, minimalistic. It includes essential things related to teaching and, you know, a few things here and there. But what is more important is the content. If you're teaching grammar, you're going to focus on grammar. If you're teaching writing, if you're teaching speaking, and if you're teaching listening, it is all agreed upon before the online course starts. For my case, as an example, when I teach university students, it really depends on what they want from that online course. Some students want you to focus on grammar, so probably you could just tailor your lesson plans just to focus on grammar alone. Others want to improve their communication skills because they have those rules, they know everything related to grammar, but they want to communicate that in a very good way. I mean, I'm talking here about pronunciation and things that are related to the productive skills.
Taoufik, what slide are you at?
Classroom setup, advanced learner. Everybody is there.
Which number? No, we are still in the community of inquiry. You know, the first slide maybe is, you know, is stack.
Hi, guys, I have a suggestion here. If possible, if Mr. Amri is okay with it,
to send me the.
If you can either share the presentation with Mr.
That will be great. Yeah.
If you can give him the actual presentation by email or WhatsApp, and then he displays it and follows again with you, it could be better.
Unless if you don't have any video or something like that. If it's just slides and so on, great. It will be better. Great if you send me the, you know, the slides, and then I'm going to.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I'm going to actually do something else. Convert the to PDF to make it even easier for everyone.
Okay, I have another suggestion. If it is possible, I think that you have to change your slide to diaporama. Try it to diaporama, please.
All right, let's.
Just try it. Diaporama.
Okay, yeah, that's
Go.
the problem. Yeah.
Maybe it will solve the problem. Yes, just try it.
Because I'm not using PowerPoint here.
Yeah, I have noticed this. Okay, just.
So this one is on the diaporama mode. Could everyone see where I'm at now? Classroom setup for kids.
Can you move to another slide and check if it's going on?
Yeah.
All right. I'm moving to the other slide. Is it good
move.
now?
Try.
It's fine.
Nothing happens.
No, nothing.
Now it's okay.
Yeah. It's
now it's
okay
fine.
now. Yeah.
Now it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine now.
Okay. All right. Interesting. So,
Mr. Amri, if you don't mind, if you can take us through again from the beginning quickly, because we just saw 2 slides till now, which was the first, and then the next one where we got stuck. I hope you don't mind.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. So let's. Okay. No. Give me 1 minute. I'm going to work on the slide and. Okay. Internet connection really plays a important role.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Transmitting the data.
So let's repeat again and see if it works. So could everyone see?
Yeah, we are on the first slide now. Yeah.
We are all in the first slide.
Now you moved, I think. No, it's
I'm moving.
blank.
So could you see that?
Till now it is blank.
It's white, solid white.
Okay.
That's
good.
It's white.
So I'm moving to the next slide again.
Nothing happens. See, Taoufik, it's the same. You know, white screen. Okay, now it shows up right now. It's language skills.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Moving. All right, let's see. So if I move here to the next slide, does something show?
It's yeah, right. Try move again and see. Okay. No, it's fine. Yes, I think it's till right now it's okay.
All right. Is it clear for everybody?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay, good. if they could confirm that it really depends on each participant, depending on their internet connection speed. Some could follow, others probably would lag behind. All right, good.
All right, so, no worry. Just go to the last point you have been discussing, and inshallah move ahead.
The last point I was discussing is the type of the environment.
The slides before, right? The slides before, because you know the presentation Taoufik seems quite interesting. That's why we want to benefit, inshallah, from.
So here, pedagogy and technology for online language learning. Everybody's on here?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Good. So we were talking here about when we talk about online distance education or online teaching, we have two basics that we need to take into consideration as tutors. So we have the pedagogy on the left, and we have how we're going to teach that using information and communication technologies. And everything else is centered around the community of inquiry. And here we're talking about students. All right, because here when we teach online, everything is learner centered. It is related to the students. It depends on the students. We're talking about the level, we're talking about the age, we're talking also about the type of lessons or learning that is required from their part, because each student has specific needs that you agree upon at the beginning of the online course, and that you work on that in the future. So when we talk about pedagogy, very quickly, we have transactional distance theory. And here we're talking about the foundation of let's say, the communicative approach, or constructivism again, and the language teaching pedagogy. And something essential when we talk about these is the instructional dialogue, the way you transmit those ideas into the students, the way you teach them, the structure, I mean here the lesson planning, how you prepare for the lesson and everything else, and autonomy, how you follow up on that learning, how you follow up on that teaching after a few lessons or a few sessions, meaning comprehension check activities and quizzes and exercises, etc. That I'm going to be mentioning in the next slides as well. Moving here, when we talk about the other part, which is information and communication technologies, we're talking here about laptops and all those technology resources that we use to teach online, visual learning, virtual learning environments, and computer-assisted language learning. Those are essential to teaching, because when we talk about virtual learning environments, the environments really depend from a learner, type of learners to others. So we have the first important one that many online tutors use, which is teaching kids. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you have the targeted students as kids, you make sure that the environment where you teach is suitable to those needs. Make it decorated, including shapes and diagrams and all those toys, etc. And Mr. Abdelouahed has really proven to have a very good example for that. Yeah, right, Mr. Abdelouahed. You've
done a great job.
Excellent, yeah. So make that learning fun, because kids, when they see that behind in your background, they see that you're professional to your teaching and that you want to provide the best of the best to them. But when the targeted audience are university students or advanced learners, the environment tends to be a little bit minimalistic, professional, and to the point. Because mostly when we talk about university students or advanced learners, we're talking about specific learning needs, which are agreed upon at the beginning of the online course. A specific students would like to enhance or improve their grammar skills. They want to improve their grammar, that's it. So you work on that specifically. Others want communication because they have grammar, but they want to communicate that in an accurate and fluent way. So you work on that with them. And the environment behind you should be kind of like to the point and includes those important elements. Grammar structures, phonetics, those things related to linguistics, and etc. You know, things that are very very to the point and related to the learning or the teaching you're conducting. Moving on to something that is well, this is just an example of the environment where I teach. Okay. I'm on vacation now, and you could see that I'm using the pictures that I have. If I was at home, I would have taken a tour there, showing you each individual, say, material they use for my teaching.
Great.
So part of this presentation is to talk about tips related to online teaching or teaching language skills online. I have summed up a few for you, tried to put them in bullet points. The first important one, which I think Mr. Abdelouahed agrees on, is to know your software well, you know, to know what you're doing. All right, so you want to use a specific software to teach, you have to learn about it, learn about its pros and cons, where it's good and useful, where it is not, how to use it, things to take into consideration while using it with students, etc. So those things are very essential. Have a good working setup, we've talked about earlier. Moving on, create a teaching environment, we've talked about it as well. Those are very important and essential things. Use your environment to your advantage. So here, this is very essential because the environment you are teaching in should help you to teach. All right. Try to kind of like equip it with the necessary things that would help you would help facilitate your online teaching. Having a good microphone, having a good camera, probably a separate screen, an external screen rather than your laptop's only screen, because you're going to have the exercises on the other screen and the video conferencing on one screen, so that you could work on them simultaneously without any issues. Always be ready and prepare well. Preparation is key here. So before you start your online course, you work on the essentials, first step, second step, third step, everything should be covered, so that while teaching online, any questions that my students might have, you already have thought of and have an answer to. And something essential, and Mr. Abdelouahed has succeeded on, I believe, so you make it fun and active, right? The smile, the gestures, right? The sun cheer, the upload, things you do, you know, to interact with your students. So you use your hands, you use your background, and you use the objects you have in your environment. And Mr. Abdelouahed, one example he has given earlier is that the star. So when you have a good answer, you show them the star. So I'm talking here about kids and you know, learners that are between, let's say, 5 to 15 years of age. You could use the same methodology with adult learners, but in a different way, all right? So think of probably scoring their quizzes. Think of having them like challenge. If you have a class or a course of 4 to 5 participants, probably you could show them that this student is at this level and this student has succeeded to achieve the next level, etc. So kind of make it fun. We're going to talk about the apps and the software we're going to use to do that, because they provide this feature. Use online resources. There's plenty out there. So probably we have an intervention from a participant. I've heard somebody speak. Yes, has somebody spoken?
No, go on, Taoufik, go on, great, yeah.
All right, great. Professional development, and this one I stress on a lot. All right, if your goal is to teach online, you have to always look for any online courses that provide necessary skills regarding that. Join them, participate, learn new things. As you go ahead with your career teaching online, you're developing yourself as well. And we call it self-development, all right, professional development throughout the journey. There are many different programs out there for teachers so that they could make use of, so that they could teach online. And I've talked this morning about a website that is called Larger. It is a portfolio that kind of like includes all of the certificates and badges you have gained and achieved online. You put them there, and then you build on or you work on your portfolio online so that you could learn more, probably from other participants. One important conference, which is TESOL International Conference. I don't know if Mr. Abdelouahed has participated in it. I think he did. Right, Abdelouahed? You've participated in the TESOL online conference?
I don't think so. Where? Which one?
It was sponsored by the U.S. Department of State, and it's included, let's say, different programs and lectures about different.
I think I attended the last, the last training that we had together. We took together in Tangier, right?
So after that, there was also a TESOL International Online Conference that includes different things. And through that, you could enrich your teaching experience by learning from other participants around the world. So here the windows is open to kind of like a plethora of possibilities where you could learn from other participants from around the world about different skills and techniques so that you could use teaching online. Moving on with the presentation, we have something very important, which is resources for teaching speaking skills online. Earlier in this presentation, I've talked about this quote from the book because oral communication skills weaken when you teach online to a certain point, unless you know how to hone that online teaching. You try to maximize the speaking skills, or you work on them a lot, because through them you are able to teach that language. So if you have good communication skills, good activities, and good programs you could use, apps you could use with the students, then the speaking skills are enhanced and are improved throughout the courses you provide. I have here a few. If I don't know if they are clear to you, everybody. We have video chats and talk groups. Those are apps you could use. I'm not going to go through them all because we're not running short of time and we don't have much time. We want to leave time for discussion, because through discussion we could really talk about certain important points. So we have presentation recording software, interactive whiteboards. Mr. Abdelouahed has mentioned interactive whiteboards in the morning. There are many apps online that you could use to do that. And I could mention a few. There is an app called Drawboard for Windows users. I'm going to share those links with you, everybody, in the chat section later on when we finish with this presentation. So there is Drawboard. It is good, especially if you have a laptop that provides the torture feature. You could use the screen to write on it. So it is a very good one, because then you could work on different files and PDFs with the students, and you could just correct their exercises, etc. Mobile apps, very important ones. Speak and practice activities. Here, Podomatic, AudioPal, AudioBoo, different online websites and apps that you could use to do that. And voice recording is also a good one. Spoken text, etc. Audacity. What I use with my students is that I, especially here, let's say we're talking about non-native speakers or speakers of other languages, like Moroccans, for example, or students from the MENA region, etc., that have their native language as Arabic, and you want to teach them English. And here you could encourage them to talk to you only in the L2 using English. through kind of like audios and conversational topics that are very simple, specifically or especially if they are beginners. Pronunciation practice. You could see there are different tools you could use and websites for that matter, for that cause. Moving on. Here, just to finish with
Taoufik, please, there is a question here has been raised by Si Hisham Qasimi, I think. He's talking about mobile apps. Said like what? I think, I don't know, not sure about your question, Si Hisham. You feel free to turn on the mic and explain, because they have seen some examples of mobiles.
Hello, Taoufik. Thank you very much.
Come on.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you very much for your presentation. It's really insightful. You just mentioned some apps that we can use teaching online. I would be happy if you mention the names, please, or the links.
Yeah.
And I wonder if you can share with us this presentation later on.
Yeah, sure, I will. And surprisingly, I was going to just move to another slide which talks about the apps and websites we could use to teach online.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. So feel free to go on, please.
I'm going to go through them all, just give you a brief introduction about each, and try to explain how to use them, and give you my experience using them as well. So for the first one and the most famous one, Kahoot, which is a game-based learning platform that makes it easy to create, share, and play learning games or trivia quizzes in minutes. And this one I use a lot for three main reasons: check progress and comprehension, make quizzes and check students' score, and to get feedback from students and see how they're doing. Here, after you finish teaching online, you're done with the lessons, and you're at the 15 or 30 last minutes of your session. You could give a link or share the passcode with your students that takes them to an online game, which they could use their mobile phones or their laptops to do so. Once they and they have actually, I think it is once you create a Kahoot quiz or game or exercise, they have 19 hours till they finish with it. So you send the link to them, and after a certain time, you go to your account and you see which one has finished and where they have where the process is at. You could even get back to them with feedback and probably advice so that they could make their understand the lesson more. This one is a very good one, especially if you're using if you're teaching let's say intermediate to advanced learners. All right. Moving on to the next one, it is a website. It also provides an app you can use on your phone, I believe.
Live worksheets,
Live worksheets, yeah.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, I use it a lot.
Yeah, I do use it a lot.
Yeah, it's
really
good.
Share with everyone here,
I use it too. It's a very good one.
Nice.
So just very quickly, Live Worksheets allows you to transform your traditional printable worksheets, so you give PDFs to students or whatever, into interactive online exercises with self-correction, which we call interactive worksheets, as they call it. Students can do the worksheet online and send their answers to the teacher. And here, I want to give you a real example about this. I'm going to share with you my Live Worksheet account and show you some of my students' answers, if that is possible with everyone else.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
All right. So could everyone see my account? Yeah? Mr. Abdelouahed, if you could.
Yeah, great. It's clear. We can see some worksheets there, right? Nice.
So here on the website, you have your profile, all right? My students, my workbook, etc. My mailbox where your students send their answers. All right. Here, I'm going to share with you some of my students. All right, they're very good students, except.
Nice, good.
All right.
Nice.
So once they finish with their worksheet, they send it to your account, provided you give them your email address with which you have opened the account on the website. All right. So I give them my email address, my full name. So once they finish with the worksheet, they say they click on submit answer to the teacher, and they fill in with my contact information. So I check the worksheet, I see their score, I edit, and I get back to them with feedback.
Nice, great, great, very good.
So let's go back to the presentation. All right.
And what is so great, sorry to interrupt you, what is so great about live worksheets is that you as a teacher, as you said, you can create your account and so on, and you can create your interactive, live worksheets. And there are tutorials that can help you do that, right?
Yes, of course. You could create your own live worksheet depending on your specific teaching needs and objectives. Moving to the next one, it's Mentimeter. It's very similar to Kahoot. It builds interactive presentations with the easy-to-use online editor. They have add questions, polls, quizzes, etc. Apart from these three, you really have the different apps out there, different websites that give you the possibility to do an unlimited number of things with students, so that you could help them achieve their objectives into learning English, right? So that's it for the presentation. So we've tackled some aspects related to, and by the way, here I'm using this kind of this app called Breezy, so that I could share with you those slides. I think it's about time, because I think it's 10 to 6.
Yeah, great. It's okay, because actually I've been enjoying.
I believe that many participants
we really enjoyed the presentation, and we wish that there are some more. Great. Actually, it was a very nice, thoughtful, practical, something that you need. This is exactly what the tutor need, right? Not just theory and so on. There are some things very important. So when it comes to theory, we do not underestimate the importance of theories. But the way Mr. Taoufik tackled the theory, the distance theory and so on, it's something, you make it very simple. You give us some ideas and principles that are very, very fruitful for us, and so practical. Guys, please, I will have the chance to raise it if there are any specific question, any needy, great, let me say, or urgent question that you want to ask, for further information and so on. And then we'll move to some of the important points regarding this point. Come on. Hello? Hello, come on, the floor is yours. Who is speaking?
Hisham Qasimi. Hello, Mr. Abdelouahed.
Say, Hisham, how are you? We miss you in the morning. Shame on you.
No, I was there.
I know, but you didn't break the word.
I'm sorry.
All right, it's okay. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Amri. It was a very insightful presentation. Thank you very much again. I just would like to add another website that I use. I'm still fresh in the experience of online teaching, and you are the one who opened the floor for me, Mr. Abdelouahed. So thank you very much for that.
We are learning. Great, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. I would like to add another website that I use, especially for beginners. I'm writing it, which is gamesToLearnEnglish.com. This is a very good website, especially for beginners. I use this with beginners. It's very good for vocabulary. Yes, for vocabulary, so you can use it. I hope I hope the link is correct. But anyway, because when I want to find this, I just write Games to Learn English on Google, and I found this the first one. Kahoot is a very good one. I just wanted to add this link. Thank you very much for the apps, and I hope because I just want to say that this is what we need. We need practical steps to go forward in this journey, and this is exactly what you are doing, because theory is very rich, but how to put it into practice, that's the question. Okay, so thank you very much. And if there are any other apps or websites, would you please share it with us? And another thing to ask, would you please share with us some materials,
Sure. Inshallah, great. After a moment, inshallah, as I promised you, inshallah, I have like 12 gigabytes of materials, inshallah. They are very, very, very useful and practical. Worksheets, workbooks, textbooks, and so on. Yeah, inshallah.
And some programs. Are there some programs to learn English? I've been told that there are some programs. There is a program, I guess, called Interchange. To learn English. I don't know where I can find it, so thank you very much for that.
Welcome, the most welcome. Say Hisham, thank you so much. Guys, right, ladies, if you have more questions, please let us listen from you. And inshallah, before we move on ahead, great to talk about the lesson plan and the demo lessons and see who is going to teach who, right? Inshallah, yes. Please, the floor is yours. Any question? We haven't heard a lot from ladies. Yes. Come on, Si Mohammed.
Yeah, thank you very much. Once more, I'd like to thank Mr. Amri for the insightful presentation. My question is, or my request, if possible, if Mr. Amri can take us through a small demo lesson with one of the apps. Consider us your students. I mean, I'll be happy to be your student and teach me something to one of your apps, just for me to get like a hands-on experience with it. Thank you so much in advance.
All right, welcome.
All right, sure, Mr. Mohammed. Whenever the chance is given by Mr. Abdelouahed, I don't know, today.
Mr. Mohammed is throwing the ball on you.
Yeah, sure.
He's passing the ball to you. Get ready for a demo lesson, Si Mohammed. Great. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
We could actually provide a lesson that is structured to meet certain objectives.
Right.
Why not using one of the apps? And here, when I talk about apps, using apps online with students, those apps, you use them as a, let's say, backup resource so that you could assess the objectives and see if students have understood. They are indirect, they are active, and for example, Kahoot. Here, once you finish teaching the present perfect, you've talked about the structure, you've given them examples, you've used them in dialogues or whatsoever, and then you come into the comprehension check and see if students have understood. To do that, you use Kahoot, for example. You send them the link to the game, they join, you play with them, you see their progress, they see if they have understood, and by the end, you could see their score and probably provide something for students or whatever, just help them see if they've succeeded at understanding the present perfect as an example. But whenever Mr. Abdelouahed gives the floor, why not? We could work on a demo lesson.
Inshallah, we'll decide. Right, since this is a request, we'll decide on that, inshallah, after a while.
A question, please.
Yeah, come on.
Is there a program that you follow? I mean, the choice of courses. Is there a program that you follow? I've been facing this problem with some students. So they come to you, they say, okay, we would like to learn English. Of course, I don't like to take the same program they are teaching. So I start, improvising and choosing courses. My plan is that I work based on themes. So for example, this session is about numbers. If I'm with beginners, this session is about color. The next session is about animals. But it is a bit demanding from the part of the teacher.
Yeah.
And plan and everything. So, is there a program that you have, and possibly maybe share it with us? Maybe this is for intermediate, beginners, and advanced. As a beginner in the area of online teaching, I mean, with every student, we have to develop a program. It is, I mean, time consuming, and it is a bit hard from the part of the teacher. So if there is a program, would you please share it with us?
An example I have set here as a screenshot of my last group of students. They were advanced students, and we've worked about, it was an intensive program where we had to finish in 2 weeks or so. So you could see that we have days and first and second session. So each session, each class is divided into two sessions. And the first one is like an example here on Saturday, we have from 6 to 7 p.m. It is an overview. We just talk about grammar, share our ideas, things that we struggle with. So I could get, let's say, an insight into how I'm going to work in the future. Because once you see their points of strength and points of weaknesses, you'll tailor your lesson plans accordingly.
Exactly.
The second session is on grammar. So I'm going to talk about theory, just theory. Here, students, and Monday, essential tenses, what are they? Using examples, interactive activities with them. So you go ahead on that schedule. This one seems a little bit tight. I'll see if I have another example here on my laptop, but probably not now because I'm on vacation. So I've taken this laptop with me here. The other one is back at home.
It's fine.
I share them with you once I have them in hand, because I can share my schedule with it.
Please allow me to elaborate on Mr. Qasimi's question. I think I have also been thinking about, I would say, the same matter that Mr. Qasimi has raised. The challenge is when you have a student or when you have a prospect who would like to learn English, is there a way to understand their level fast and based on that have a curriculum that fits them? I have been trying to do some research myself, and of course there is the common European reference, you know that from A1 till C2, so there is like some online free websites who give you a free test who can be given to the students to take the test, and then that website in less than 4 minutes gives you what is their level as per the common European framework. So once we know that the student is, for example, a B1 student, what is the I would say relevant curriculum to use for that specific student? So now the example which Mr. Amri has shared just now is for some advanced students, probably secondary school students who do grammar, who do tenses, who a certain bit mid to advanced level. Yeah. So the question is how to get to know their level and how to choose material that fits them. That's the question.
All right, guys, feel free to intervene. Great question.
If I may try to answer, please.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
I have some diagnostic tests that I use. So, for example, whenever someone I mean contacts me to learn English, especially here in Rabat, you know, there is the idea of home schooling, some à domicile, as we say. So some parents, they want their students or their sons to be taught at school English. So we have to go to home. I have here some diagnostics that I will share with you. And whenever I'm going, in my mind, I just have 3 levels. So beginners, intermediates, or advanced. So I give, for example, I will share them with you here. So, for example, someone who is something like 10 years old or 11, he's either beginner or intermediate. So I give him, for example, the test for the intermediate. If he doesn't get it right, so it means he's a beginner. If he teaches, so he's an intermediate. If he gets the intermediate 100%, then I start doubting maybe he's an advanced. The first session, even after the diagnostic test, it's not enough. So you give him diagnostic test. Then the first session is just, you know, for a little bit of chat and getting to know each other, and then like a general overview. This way you can set him correctly in his level. So a question for Mr. Howie, please, before I leave the floor. You mentioned some website to see student levels. I would be happy if you can share them with us. Thank you very much.
I did, my friend. I have shared a website here, which I found, I would say, while browsing online, I came across this website. I wonder if any of you have used it or knows it. So through this, you can choose what
languagelevel.com. Nice, right?
Have you guys tried this before?
Personally, no, I didn't. Personally, I didn't.
I feel it is useful. So allow me to maybe quickly show you how it works. It's very, very simple. It takes just a few minutes, 3 to 4 minutes to get through. So let me try to, if possible, share my screen. So share. Open this. Okay, in desk Zoom. Okay, so we have share, desktop, share. Privacy.
You have trouble sharing the screen, Mr. Mohammed?
Yeah, you will have, I think, to give me access.
No, I have already allowed multiple participants.
Very nice. Okay, so privacy, firewall, recording. 1 second. So we need to share the screen, whiteboard, Chrome, unknown, Safari, unknown, advanced, files. Yeah, it's not coming out. Share. If you all can just
no worries, the link is recorded, and inshallah, great, we'll share it with everyone, right? So that inshallah we'll check and see great how it works. Thank you very much for sharing this. That's very interesting actually. There is one point just to maybe summarize and close this before we move, because we are running out short of time. Concerning this, there are some, things, some very variables, let's say, or factors that we have to consider as far as which syllabus or curriculum to adopt and what to do and so on and so forth. We have to consider the needs of the parents and the students and so on, right? Sometimes the parents may contact you and then tell you, please, I want you to follow this syllabus, which is maybe a Saudi Arabian, textbook or whatever, right? So there are some cases like that, right? Many parents actually, told me to follow their own syllabus and so on. Others say, you teacher, it's up to you, you know what you do and so on. And something very important again is this question of diagnosis and so on, as Mr. Hisham and other colleagues talked about. Yes, this is a very nice suggestion here, right? If we got an already ready-made, placement tests and diagnosis tests to check, let's say, for the level of our students and so on, especially if the student is a little bit, an advanced student, or maybe intermediates, pre-intermediates, and upper intermediate. It's a little bit difficult to decide, right, about his level. But sometimes when it comes to kids, sometimes, parents, they contact you, even though their kids, they know little English and so on, but they say, they tell you, please, I want you to start from zero, right? Start from zero and then go up, right? So we have to consider all these things together. And inshallah, I will be sharing after a while, a great deal of, materials that you can use and so on. And there are among those materials, you can find different textbooks divided into different levels. I mean, you find, like interchange, and then you find level 1, level 2, right? Intermediate, pre-intermediate, elementary, and so on, advanced, and so on and so forth, right? This is an example of placement test from English Unlimited, right? And it's a written test, and there is also an oral test. And there is a paper that show you that, the device, there are many questions. And let's say the questions are divided into different levels. So at the end, right, when the students finishes or completed the placement test, you can right see which level they are in. Okay, so Mohammed, maybe you manages to share the screen. So the floor is yours. You have 1 minute, and then we move on to the last step, inshallah. So
very quickly, as I said, language test. And then if one wants to learn about the different levels of the this common reference of framework, it is here. And then if you choose English, there are 15 questions.
Great, very nice, very nice indeed.
The difficulty of questions changes while the person is answering.
Gradually,
so the level is, yes, exactly.
Getting
so once one finishes answering these 15 questions, the system will automatically calculate and tell you what level of CRF are they in. Yeah,
perfect.
Exactly. That's
Perfect.
it. Thank you.
It's the same thing here. If we talk about the platform like Preplay that I talked about, you know, their platform is well developed and it's too sophisticated. They have the lesson plans, they have the materials, and they have at the beginning, once the students, once you get the request from students, and then you accept the request. So automatically the platform sends the placement test. They have a placement test. They send it to the students, and they ask him or her to take the placement test. And once he finishes taking the placement test, you get the result of the student, his level, and they also link you to you know, the appropriate lesson plans regarding vocabulary, reading skills, and so on, which are tailored, let's say, to the level of the students. Very, very interesting contributions, Mohammed. Thank you very much. Please feel free, ladies, to contribute. Don't be shy. All right. Now, guys, I think it's time. We have already exceeded the time limit. So we have two things here. We have, you know, drawing a demo lesson plan. I don't think there is a big difference, guys, between the ordinary lesson plan and the online lesson plan, except this difference that we have been discussing concerning the digital resources, materials, and so on, applications, and so on and so forth. So let me share a very simple, very simple template of a lesson plan, and inshallah, I'm going to share it with you. Then after a while, I'm going to share some materials and resources. Then we should decide, inshallah, on who is going to get started and let's say started with the demo lessons that we'll have tomorrow, inshallah. Okay, so this is a very simple one. You're free. I prefer if a person, I recommend if a tutor try to do his best and you know, make design his own lesson, you know, lesson plan templates and so on, right, according to his needs. This is the one that I actually use at school and so on. So there is mostly the lesson plan, you know, can be divided into 3 basic sections. There is a section here which is the header, which contains some information regarding maybe the syllabus, or if you are using a specific textbook, you know, the date of the planning, it's very important, the class or the target student or a group of students, and you know, the time limit or the duration of the lesson. Then you have to specify the objectives. When talking about you know, objectives here, I mean, they have to do with the current session, that you have, or that you want to, I mean, the session that you want to in which you want to teach and so on. You have to decide exactly what student will have achieved at the end, right? And I insist here on the future perfects. What will have been achieved at the end, right? Not what the intent will have. Sometimes we say, well, a student will, by the end, student will do this, will speak, will, I don't know, right? I prefer here, you know, to use the future perfects to indicate exactly what are the aims or that should be achieved at the end, by the end, let's say, of the lesson. And then, of course, you specify the components, textbook if it's there, or unit or whatever. This is if you are using a textbook. It's not necessary for me. I don't use, you know, I don't stick to a specific textbook. Even if, you know, some parents may, you know, recommend using their own syllabus and so on. But what I do is that I try to rely to bear in mind the roadmap, right, of the textbook. The map of the textbook that you have at the very beginning, let's say, of the textbook, it tells you exactly what are the components that you got to teach, the things that you have, structure, communication functions, whatever. things that you need, right, to deliver, right, in your lesson. So you bear in mind that, and then you feel free to adapt if there are some materials, text or whatever, that is not suitable for the students. And you vary the nature, your activities. Variety is very important, interactive activities, and so on and so forth. And something very important regarding the planning of your lesson is that sometimes, in most of the time, actually, students or the parents mostly book 1 hour lesson, even if the kid maybe is still young, right? Maybe 8 years girl, or I had the experience to teach a 5-year Chinese girl and a 5-year German boy, and now currently I have, students, kids aging 8 years, 9 years. So for such students, it's too much for them to, to keep patient, throughout the whole hour. So, but their parents insist on of course, they agreed on teaching them, right, 1 hour. There are parents who understand, right? They understand. They say, okay, if it's 30 minutes to 40 minutes, if it's okay, okay, that's enough, right? And of course, they pay, just the equivalent of 1 hour. But for you, if you have such, much time, 1 hour for a kid and so on. So think about varying your activities. If it's not, even if it's not a kid, right? Vary your activities. Personally, I have a personal touch in my lesson plan, after maybe some grammar, some communication, some, at a certain time, I try to break the routine and then have what I call a fan session within the session. Let the students watch 3-minute episode of animated cartoons of anime, right? And then try to exploit that anime, that episode, right, to learn new words and learn new expressions and so on. So generally the structure is like that. You should think about the phases that you should include. What are you going to do, the procedure in each phase? Mostly, lesson plan can be divided in terms of process into three basic parts. The first one is an intro. It doesn't matter whether you're following a PPP, methodology, or an OHE or whatever methodology. Broadly speaking, there is an intro, right, to initiate your lesson, a warm up, to ice breaking, and so on. Right? And then you move, you get into the lesson, into the core of the lesson, and then of course you will have some tasks to introduce the new structure or function or whatever. Then at the end, there must be an outro. There must be conclusion to make sure, some tasks to make sure that your student really understood, let's say, the lesson. So assessment is very important at the end, and maybe a homework assignment if, let's say, the parents and the target audience accept homework. There are some parents who said, please don't assign them homework. They are too overcharged with lots of homework already, right? And for the tools, this is where the difference occurs. So here we can include many things here. When it comes to an online demo lesson, we have to include maybe the website, the link of the activity I'm going to introduce, the application I'm going to use, and so on and so forth. So now it's the nature of techniques that change, and the time is the same. Here it's for the time in here. What time you should think about the allotted time for each phase, and think about devoting enough time, very little time for the intro, and then enough time for let's say practice and so on, and much time for production to make sure that the student really is really able to practice and produce and use the structure and so on and so forth. So there are some principles when it comes to methodology. I don't want to propose a certain restrictive methodology regarding how to teach skills and so on and so forth. But, there are some principles that we have to bear in mind. I think Mr. Taoufik has mentioned some of them. This notion of discovery learning is very important. To help the student to discover the rule by himself. get him into self-correction instead of correcting his mistakes directly. Help him, provide some scaffolding. Try to bear in mind this notion of 5 C's. These are some principles that are very, very useful. Community, culture, communication, connection, comparison. These are the notions that should exist in any lesson, especially this notion of communication. Any lesson without having students communicate, use the language, and speak is not a successful lesson. So students should always have the opportunity to speak and practice the language. So guys, now let's share with you right now inshallah, take a look at the documents that inshallah I'm going to share with you, and move on right away to inshallah to distribute the tasks regarding the demo lessons. I'm sorry for speaking too much because there are some ideas we have. Now, can you see the screen, guys? I'm not sure, right? Let me share the screen again. Okay. Hello, can you see the screen?
That's great.
Oh, I'm sorry, great. You know what happened?
Yeah, sure.
My kit was unplugged in, right? So I don't know if you raised any question or if you try to interrupt me or whatever. All right, because my earphones were unplugged. I was not listening to you before. Okay, now, so this is the inshallah the materials that you'll get, and maybe you will have problems downloading the materials. I will share the link. I have already uploaded the materials into my drive, but you need to look maybe for someone who has got a fiber optic connection, fast internet connection, and storage. You need again right, maybe a hard disk or something like that, because or maybe 12 megabytes or higher, right? Very large size flash disk, so that you can get download and put the materials into. All right, so you have here the LT books, right? You'll find here mini LT books, right? Very, very interesting to raise your awareness about theory, methods and approaches, and some of the principles of foreign language teaching and so on. I recommend here referring back to Brown Douglas. He has got his books are very, very easy and very important, to read. Talking about some of the principles to consider, talking about the linguistic principles. Students have some linguistic needs that we should meet. They need some structure to express themselves, words, and so on and so forth. There are, cognitive principles. When it comes to the content, when it comes to knowledge, they need to learn. They need to, develop cognitively, and also some affective principles should be taken into consideration. I think Taoufik talks about rewards and so on and so forth. This is part of that. Okay, so this is for, you'll find here books, for theory, right, to learn. And here you'll find what is most important here, which is the textbooks, materials, and so on. You'll find many teaching materials that you can use here. You can find textbooks, divided into different levels, issued by the same publishing house and so on, right? American English, right? You'll find, audio files and so on, audio books, right? Very, very interesting, right? I'll let you, inshallah, right, discover this, explore these materials later on. So I will share, inshallah, the link soon, right? Okay, so guys, let's move to the last points because it's getting late. Inshallah, for the tomorrow, inshallah, we have demo lessons. And the demo lessons we have, of course, after some workshop, we have an interesting workshop. Again, great, remind you to have a notebook or a copybook or whatever, right? Because we need to write something and share your writings and so on. We'll have 2 demo lessons. I have an idea. I have a suggestion. If you like, we can make it a 30-minute demo lessons. I suggested 2 30-minute demo lessons because tomorrow we'll have a group session. All right. I had this idea to deal with the group session and individual one-to-one session, right? and see, inshallah, right? And we are going to attend while the participant is teaching, is tutoring. And I'm going to share, inshallah, right, an observation sheet so that you can take notes. Some of the important elements that we have to pay attention to. We take notes about, you know, how things are managed, the time, you know, the methodology, how lesson initiation, warm-up, all these things, inshallah, that are the main important element of an observation sheet will be shared with you so that we are going to take our notes. And in the afternoon, we'll have, you know, a session to discuss our online classroom observations and suggest better practices and recommendations. Okay, so do you agree to, guys, if to make it this way, 30-minute demo lessons, because tomorrow is going to be a group session. It will consist of 4 students. And these 4 students are, 2 of them are younger than the other. Right, we have 2, there will be 2 girls. One girl is around 12 years. The other one is 9 years, like that, right? And we have another boy, is 12 years too, is right, the same like you know, the first girl. And the other boy is like 8 years old, right? Okay, so we have 2, a girl and a boy, right, younger, and we have 2, let's say, older, let's say, you know, a boy and a girl. Okay, so all of them are going to attend, right? 3 of them, you know, are brothers and sisters. They are going to, you know, they are in the same room, and the other one is going to, you know, connect from another place. Okay. So of course, they're relative, okay? As far as their background, it's very important to know about their background. So they know the basics. Some of the basics, they know the basics, the alphabet. They are familiar with the some of the common questions that we know, you know, to introduce their name, to ask about the name, ask about health, you know, answer questions about health, a lot of words regarding food, drink, clothes, sports, you know, some activities and action verbs, you know, watch, listen, brush, daily routine activities. You know what typical students I'm talking about. It's just like 3rd year middle school here in Morocco, right? Okay, so it's they are beginners. Okay, so let's see first of all if you agree to make it 30 minutes, because 4 students, maybe you need much, right? 15 minutes is not going to be enough for you, right? That's why I made it, you know, 30 minutes. So we'll have to, let's say 30-minute demo lesson. So guys, we want right now to see if who is going to volunteer, guys, who is going to take the challenge of drawing a lesson plan, deciding on what he's going to teach from now, what are some of the activities he is going to include, and so on. Bear in mind, guys, that's you know, online teaching seems to me, according to my experience, is quite different from the ordinary you know, teaching that we have, the on-site teaching. It's not that linear. It's not that linear, right? Present, right, praxis, and then right, the result. It's no, right? Online teaching, it's an opportunity for me, okay, right, to speak, talk, ask questions, and so on. It's very, very flexible, right? It's very flexible, right? You don't have to worry about time. You don't have to worry about, of course, you plan your lesson, but there is a lot of flexibility. Sometimes I start, you know, with my students and so on. I had my own plan, and sometimes they say, "Teacher, we want a competition, spelling competition," because they had already great experience that with me and so on, and they like it. So okay, no problem. Let's go to spelling, right? Or maybe okay, let's wait 5 minutes, right, to finish this task. So it's flexible, and what we have to focus on is what students have learned, right? You know, try to give the opportunity for, you know, to students to practice the language, to communicate and learn something new, right? Not just, you know, recycling the same things, but learn something new and using the language. Okay, the floor is yours, guys. We want volunteers, all right? Volunteers, inshallah, right, to for the demo lessons. Yes, Taoufik, come on. The floor is yours, maybe.
Before.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So probably before you have to, or you finish with this session, I probably have to leave because I need to commute.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry. Yes. No worries. No worries. Great. Okay. So what about? All right. No worries.
It's really fun. I know.
If guys decided about something, we'll inform you, right? All of us here are. أنا مرحبا هنا اللي قالوا نقرر ولكن أنا بغيت فرصة إن شاء الله فرصة خاصة للستودنتس واللي مازال ما مجربين مازال قريت عندنا بعض الإخوة سميتو اللي عنده ديجا عام خدم وكذا so on and it's not that big difference يعني ماشي شي حاجة فرق من غير هذه المسائل ديال handling or controlling the software and so on. Okay, so Taoufik, please feel free, and then I know that you are out and so on, so you can just go and we'll finish, inshallah, finalize this section. All right.
Inshallah. All right, but just mentioning the last point you have raised is that the online tutoring is certainly different from present ones, like teaching in person, because you know, as mentioned earlier in the presentation, the oral skill is weakened. All right. It's not that much interaction as it is in person. Once you teach online, there is this kind of like you have the environment, use it at your favor. Try to use what you have, like gestures, facial gestures, hands, toys, as you have there, Mr. Abdelouahed.
Sure.
The setting, the setup, everything could be used at your advantage. All right, very good, insightful, really tips and information shared by everyone here, by every participant. Thank you very much, Mr. Mohammed, and
thank you, Taoufik,
and all other participants who have shared their experience and probably shared resources they have. I have already shared the presentation. You can find it in the chat box. So I might have to leave now. Of course,
Taoufik, for the materials, you can send it to me later. Send it to me, right? I will find a way. I will try to add it to the package so that they can have all the documents in one package, inshallah, to download them. And I will include mine too, inshallah. Yes.
All right, great, Mr. Abdelouahed.
And I'll do my best. I'll do my best because these sessions are recorded. So I'll do my best, inshallah, to send you at least some of the links for some of the videos so that you can enjoy, inshallah, again, reflection and so on, right? Thank you very much. See.
Of course.
Okay.
We have 30 minutes to go. Take care, everyone. You have a great evening alongside Mr. Abdelouahed. And
all the best. See Taoufik. Thank you very much. We enjoyed your presentation very much. Thank you. Okay, guys. All right. Thank you very much. See Taoufik. Please, the floor is yours. I haven't heard many people here, right? We need to, listen from you, from your suggestions regarding the 2 demo lessons that we have. This is one of the main important, section in this. All right. Thank you. Right. In this training, because we'll try to face and feel exactly the challenges that we may have, and we'll suggest, inshallah, solutions to help you. And we'll be present during the lesson, inshallah, to take for observations and so on. Saeed, I think. All right. Okay. So, guys, ladies, great. Who is ready to suggest something?
Thank you, Mr. Abdelouahed.
All right. We start with the Saudi Arabian. By the way, I didn't give some ideas concerning Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, their education curriculum and so on is, when it comes to the curriculum, it's, they insist very much on their culture, right? They insist on the culture. I taught many great about 4 Saudi Arabian syllabi and so on, and most of those textbooks are endowed with the Saudi Arabian culture. It's not just like Morocco. They're quite different from the Moroccan approach to English language teaching. In Morocco, maybe when it comes to culture, we can put Islam here, put Christianity here, and put Judaism here at equal footing. For them, no mentioning of no kind of such comparison at all. Saudi Arabian, the Saudi abaya, and so on, right? It's quite different. And they favor the use of the mother tongue, by the way, right? They use the mother tongue a lot. The Arabic language, they don't have any problem at all using the mother tongue. That's why if you see my videos, right, I tend to use the mother tongue, but that's not exactly the case in Morocco here. Okay, guys, don't keep silent. Let's decide on who is going to teach what.
Mr.
Inshallah, before I see that
Can you hear me?
we have 10 or 11 participants here. 10 participants.
Am I audible? Can you hear me?
So let's see the volunteers. Inshallah, we'll help him, great, to decide on what to teach and how, great, and so on, if you have any problems regarding materials or methodology. شكون هذا اللي كاتك Galaxy A2 ودي رح تسميه ما أنا نعرفك سي عبد العزيز no. Inshallah, the presentation I will share it with you, okay? نزهة, okay. يلا نزهة توكل على الله. نديرو ladies first. Okay, let's رشيدة رحيمي great نزهة وعفاف. شوفوا ladies great خصهم عقوبة لأنه ما شاركوش معنا بزاف great. كيلحوا لنا شي سؤال في الشات مرة but they are not participating you know directly. Yes. Okay, I mean, Selafrawi, great. Okay, so it's a great opportunity, and this is not the last opportunity, actually. If someone is interested in, you know, training himself and having a chance, we can, right, later on, inshallah, after the holiday, after this training, I should personally take a rest, a break. I'm very tired. And later on, right, you can contact me and we'll decide and so on, and you can attend and teach, and I will be there, inshallah, great to, you know, to see how you manage things and so on, and suggest and provide feedback, right? Okay, so Al-Afrawi, great, let me, Al-Afrawi has, you know, suggested himself to, where is Al-Afrawi here? Okay, yeah, now I think it's the next is gonna be a lady, right? The next should be a lady, great, because they didn't actually have the chance to participate, so it's an opportunity for them. Of course, if they are equipped with the necessary materials, right, at least a laptop with a webcam and an ordinary microphone, not necessarily, right? I talked about some recommendations regarding the materials and so on, but that should not be you know, a reason to quit, right? You know, I didn't start with all the materials that are available right now. Okay, when I started teaching, I started with an Acer laptop, dual processor and so on, and I was, you know, right, doing with what I have, as we say. But later on, right, we should think about upgrading. I'd love to do a demo, right? Who? Si Muhammad, okay. Talhawi, right? Okay. So, girl, let's say girls, ladies. If there is no, let's say, want to contribute to participate in this 30-minute demo, I think it's too much for ladies. Okay, we'll see, great. Okay, so Mr. Muhammad, I think Talhawi's suggestion is volunteering. Okay, so Muhammad Talhawi here. Let me mark. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Hear me? Can you hear me, Si Abdelouahed?
Si Muhammad? Yes, I can.
Yeah. So
sure.
I'm just trying to set the expectations right. I'm someone who has never done online teaching.
Great. Yes, nice. Okay.
I'm not a public school teacher.
Oh, great. And what are you doing here? Nice. Perfect.
Yeah, I think this session is all meant for me.
Nice, great. Great. I think I noticed that you, when it comes to job, you just you know, choose other, right? I don't know what is that other, right? So what do you do for work, Miss Mohammed?
Well, I have, in fact, early in 2006, I had a BA in English, but
nice, great.
My career has been in the business, I would say, side.
Oh, wow, right. You have everything C. غلبتينا احنا دابا you have everything C. You got to TESOL in English language teaching, and when you join these two together, business and education, right, you can make a bundle, right?
So
that's
what
fine.
I'm saying is I just want to set the expectations, right? I'd love to do this demo lesson and learn from it. But
yeah, sure.
For now, I don't know from where to start it, what software to use. I think I have the equipment necessary for it. So if there is a little bit of coaching from you or from one of the experienced, I would say, teachers, I can be able to do somehow.
Sure, great. If you need help, we'll provide help. Okay, so Mohammed is going to take charge of this second 30-minute lesson. We have, let's say, 50-minute demo lessons, 4 50-minute demo lessons actually, and we shall give the chance, inshallah, to ladies to take part. Inshallah, get ready, great, for tomorrow. In addition, of course, to other participants who would like to participate. Okay, so the Zoom is the application, the conferencing app software that we use with the students, with the current students. So you won't have any problem. I will take charge of the problem related to the technical side of the issue. Okay, nice, very good, great. So remember, concerning the background of the students, these are beginners. It means they have to simplify my language. No worries, no problem if I am obliged to resort to the L1. It's okay, great, but let's not make it the dominant language. Let's make English and the dominant language and give the chance to students to interact with them, great, and so on, and create some fun and vary the activities. Don't rely on one activities. Avoid talking and explaining grammar, right? Grammar, I never taught grammar, in such a deductive, direct way, right? Even Brown Douglas said when it comes to grammar, communicative language teaching, avoid, much explanation of grammar rules and so on. This doesn't work with kids. Kids want to speak, want to have fun and so on, and that's it, right? And learn some new words and so on, right? Okay, it's very, very simple. Just vary your activities. You can think of some fan session, right, for students, something to watch or whatever, yes. Okay, see Muad and see, right, Al-Hawi, right? Okay, so that's it for today, okay? So next time, inshallah, right, for the other day, great, for the other demo lessons, we'll decide on that, great, inshallah, during the tomorrow, inshallah, morning or afternoon, right? Okay, that's it for today, guys. Ladies, if you have any questions, something to add, the floor is yours before we end up this session, right? Because normally today we have about 38 extra, let's say, time, right? Normally we should stop at 6. Yes, sir.
Thank you very much for your wonderful presentation again.
Welcome.
Just some questions, please, concerning when exactly are we gonna deliver lessons?
Tomorrow, who is going to start? This is the question. For the lesson tomorrow, inshallah, midday. Tomorrow at 12 o'clock. So for tomorrow, concerning the program as you have, tomorrow, inshallah, we have a very important, workshop at 10 o'clock about writing a good business profile description from 10 to 11. And then at 11 o'clock, we'll have 30-minute presentation and 30-minute discussion about promoting my business profile as an English tutor. Some of the participants, Mr. Samir, as mentioned, he asked a very important question, which is the main important thing here, right? As far as, business and making, getting, right? As far as business is concerned, which is how to get students, where to work, how can we get the students? All right, we have everything, we have the materials, we have the skills, we have the knowledge. Where are the students who are going to pay for that, right? So this is the question that we will answer, inshallah, tomorrow. And right after that, inshallah, right, we'll have demo lessons. So the demo lessons will start tomorrow at 12 o'clock in Moroccan time, GMT +1. in Saudi time it's GMT +2 right دابا فاش جات الساعه ولا بيننا وبين المملكه السعوديه كيس اي غير 2 سوايع. Okay, come on, right, Siki Sinzao ربما ناس. Yes, come on.
Hello everyone. I would like just to thank you for your talk today and what you do, and you were amazing, and we'd like to initiate these soft skills because nowadays skills that we have as teachers should practice, should use. Even I am a teacher of beginners.
Nice.
Yes, for it's about 8 years.
Nice.
So
good.
we have I used to make warm up with students and use about 2 textbooks.
Great.
If I would like just to mention the names of textbooks of the ones that are used in the USA.
SA?
The Saudi, in the Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia. Saudi, great.
Yeah.
والله لا ضري في ديك السعوديين الا كاين بزاف ديال ستيريوتايبس عليهم، كاين بزاف ديال ستيريوتايبس، ولكن التجربه بحكم التجربه مع بزاف ديال الناس great عجيب. Okay.
What are the names of their textbooks?
There are many textbooks out there, right? And the current textbooks that I'm using with these students, because it's just like in Morocco. In Saudi Arabia, you can find different names of textbooks out there. The ones I'm using with these beginners is We Can, right? It is called We Can textbook.
That's fine.
We have We Can level 1, We Can level 2. القضيه اللي درنا هنايا اللي دارت الوزاره مع بخصوص الفرنسيه وهبطتها حتى الابتدائي، نفس الامر داروا لهم في السعوديه. في السعوديه كانت الانجليزيه يعني اللي السي الفوق، ولكن هذه المره صافي هبطوا على الجميع من النيفو الاول وجبت هي اللغه الاجنبيه الاولى دابا.
I would like just to
let me finish right. We Can, this is the one that we use with these current students. I can share the book, inshallah, right? If you like, I can share the book.
Okay.
We can, and we have the, right? I worked using the Super Goal. We got Super Goal. We have Mega, right? Textbook. There are different names out there. These are especially for high school students.
That's very nice. I want to add another thing.
Welcome.
Because when I navigate on Facebook, I follow some pages, some groups about teaching Jolly phonics.
Teaching phonics?
The name is Jolly phonics.
Jolly?
Yes. And it's like a table that summarizes the phones, the vowels in a way very funny and easy to. It's like what we learn in faculty, the phonics, in a module. But in a funny way, they teach these things to beginners. And
yes, we have the same thing, Mrs. Nzha. We have the same thing with the students in Saudi Arabia, because they are beginners. It's like they are beginners in English language, especially with their beginners. So it's not the same like in third year middle school in Morocco. In third year middle school, we don't teach them. The Moroccan textbook does not introduce the English alphabet. It doesn't introduce phonics, which is very, very important when it comes to reading. I do that. And I practice this with my students because it's included in their own syllabus. They have phonics and they study that. They know spelling and how to learn how to read the syllables and so on. Right? It's very important.
Yes,
come on.
This is what I like. For example, the Hindus student, they do this with the small children. They do some manual. They learn them. They teach them to make cards. they try to buy such photocopy of cards.
Copies, yeah, great, yeah, nice, good.
So
sure.
This is another idea to add for those who like to teach online. I like the idea of creating a page on your personal page. You see, your personal web. I am not skillful on this. I would like to.
Welcome. مرحبا اللي بغى شي سيت ويب من غدا. انا خلص من غدا ندير لك شي سيت. لا مهم لا بريزونس الحضور في الويب مهم، هو اللي كيحاول اشنو لي زيتيديون. دابا ما بغيناش نهضروا على شي حاجه غنديروها غدا رايت. لي زيتيديون اغلب لي زيتيديون منين كيجيني كاين ستودنت اللي كيجيو ليا من في الاول فاش بديت من البلاتفورمز، فاش البلاتفورم ولات هي اللي كتقلب لي على ستودنت، ولكن من بعد صافي ولي درت البيزنس ديالي بوحدي رايت. كاين ستودنت اللي كيجي كما عن طريق لو سيت، وكاين الستودنت اللي كيجيك عن طريق اليوتيوب رايت. اللي الاهميه ديال الواحد يكون ناشط شي شويه وكيدير فيديوهات ونصور. كاين اللي كيجي لي من الفيسبوك بزنس بيج ولا حتى البيرسونال بيج. كاين اللي كيجيك من مواقع اخرين فاش الانسان يعني السوشيال نيتوركس راه كثيره، لينكد ان اند سو اون رايت. ان شاء الله غدا نناقشوا هاد الامور، غنناقشوا غدا ان شاء الله هاد الامور هاد. انا كان عندي في واحد الظرفيه كان عندي بزاف ديال ستودنتس رايت. اي واز اوفر بوكس رايت، حتى ما بقى عندي الوقت نحك راسي، ما بقاش رايت، لان صافي مستخسي وبديت كنمرض شي شويه. انا يعني ما انت من حيلتك الاسره، من حيلتك المسائل ديال برا، من حيلتك انت فول تايم جوب والخدمه الرسميه، وكتلقى شي مرات 4-5 سوايع سكسيسيف عندك ديال الخدمه رايت. كيجي ستودنت مرحبا، كيجي ستودنت مرحبا ما اشنو في الاخر باللي قلت ليه بالله خصني ندير شي بيزنس هادي دابا، خصني فوالا نوسع القضيه وندير واحد التيم واحد الفريق ونخدم معايا اساتذه من هنا وكذا ولا استاذه ولا كذا فوالا. وليت بديت شي شويه بحال هكا، وان شاء الله انا ناوي نفعل هذه القضيه هذه، غير مازال ما عنديش الوقت بحكم دابا يلا الامتحانات وكذا، مازال مضغوطين شي شويه وترينين. اما ان شاء الله مازال غنتعلموا الشيء الكثير. راه كاين في هاد لي دوكيومون هاد الوثائق الا مهتمه بالفونيكس رايت نزها رايت والاخرون رايت. مهم جدا الفونيكس خاصه مع بيجينرز يتعلموا القراءه نصوان. كاين دوكيومنتس يعني جمعت فيه خاص ما يتعلق بالفونيكس، وفيه بزاف ديال يعني الوثائق.
My pleasure to
فوالا كاين شي وثائق رائعه جدا خاصه بالفونيكس نصوان ويتعلموا يقراوا كات بات رايت and so whatever right. So it's very interesting. خاصه كلشي فونيكس تعلموا great. It's very interesting.
We have to learn where to transmit this on while teaching other
right. This is the challenge inshallah.
We integrate things in one lesson to make a wonderful cake.
Inshallah, great. Why not? Inshallah, great. Yes.
So thank you for
welcome, Naza. Thank you so much. Thank you for your participation.
May Allah facilitate and
Ameen. Thank you so much. Ya Rabbi.
Business, inshallah.
Thank you. I wish you all success too, inshallah. Right. We'll help one another until, inshallah, I'll be very happy. I will not be very happy until I see you joining teaching, inshallah, and making extra income. Right, ya Rabbi. Okay, guys. Afaf, great. Rashida, Aziz, great. Please, if there are anything to add, great, all of you. Okay.
Hi, all.
Hi.
I would like to thank you, Mr. Abdelouahed, for this interesting workshops, and also Mr. Taoufik, because I have learned many things. Because I am a person who is interested in tutoring online.
Great.
But I have never ever been in such experience.
ندوز لك التلامذ مرحبا. ندوز لهم كان والله الا بغيت انا غير نرتاح. انا نهضر مع لي باغون كذا واحد الشهر، عطوني الراحه واحد الشهر، انا واحد الاستاذ راه مرحبا ونصيفطوا الكماندا ديالو ما عندي حتى مشكل.
ان شاء الله. حتى في يعني today's tutoring online it's something necessary. Many people have started learning online, so it's something new, but it needs effort to learn more things about it. For me, I am someone who is dead lost in these things. I don't know how to use the website. I don't know how to use
don't
many
worry
things.
about that, right? Don't worry.
That's
Inshallah,
why,
this is why we have organized this meeting. Yes, come on, go on.
yes, that's why when you sir asked us to do a demo lessons, I couldn't, because I don't know how. I have just this traditional method, which is just teaching using the board and the markers.
Right. Right.
I had a TESOL,
sure.
but it was
nice.
it wasn't that deep. Okay, so I just learned things which are more superficial. Okay, so things like that you mentioned before. I need
who's the provider? Who's the provider of this service, the TESOL training course?
Mr Al-Arabawi.
Oh, Sil Arbi, great. Yeah, great. Yes. I know him. Great. He's my friend, by the way, from Tinge. That's too, right?
He was so perfect with us, but we need to do a personal research. So this is why I say that I have to look for more data in order to be good at this stuff. I think it's the most important thing is how to create your profile. So because he asks us to do this, he told us that it's necessary to have your profile. So I think it's the first thing that a person have to create, and also the equipment. So we have to to obtain good things in order to be effective in your work.
Great.
That's it. I just would like to see someone who would present the demo lessons in order to see an example, and after that, I think it would be my pleasure to participate and do a demo lesson.
Great, nice, sure. Inshallah, you need to participate. This is exactly the key to success, right? The key to success is not right. If you want to learn this stuff, because it's not. We can't, each time to, conduct a training about how to use Zoom, how to use this, and how to use it, right? Just go and use it, right? This is the same experience. The parents from Saudi Arabia contacted me 1 year ago, and they say, I told them I was using Skype. I told them, okay, great, I will give you my Skype ID and then join. They said, hey, we use Zoom. We don't use Skype here, right? We prefer Zoom, right? There are people who use Skype, but it's available. But for them, they are familiar with Zoom. I say, okay, let's go. All right. So you, as a tutor, you should go beyond that. You should even help the students how to solve some technical problems if he has some technical problems with such software. So you just take go ahead, right, and so on. It's something very easy, right? It's like a mobile phone, how to deal a call and so on. You just need to know where to share the screen. It's there in the middle. And when you share the screen, if the first click, right? I don't know if it's possible here to share okay, let me see if, okay, guys, it's not possible here to work on Zoom at the same time. But when you share the screen, if you want to share audio, right, for the student to listen, so you need to check. There is a point when you click firstly, there is check button that you need to check to share the sound. It says share the sound. They have to check this button so that the sound will be let's say audible and hearable. Right, so these are things we can learn through practice, right?
And I like sir, your idea when you say that you can have teachers with you. It's the same time you are going to help them, and then at the same time they are going to learn.
Nice, very good. Yeah. Sure, yeah.
It's a nice idea.
This is something very common. This is very known in teaching, right? For professional teachers, right, when we were trained on teaching, 1 year training, and before there were 2 years training, there is a module, a very important module called classroom observation. Classroom observation is very important in training. I mean, we need to have to be in action, right? Teaching in action, and then have students, our colleagues, I say our colleagues, look and observe us, right? And then take remarks. And then later on, we are going to have a post meeting to discuss, right? Okay, some would say, why did you do this, right? You should do this, you'd better do this, and so on. And this is how we can improve professionally, inshallah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Welcome, Afaf. Very happy to have you here. Okay, guys, any more?
Just before we leave, we would like you to tell us exactly what to do for tomorrow, and concerning the lessons and concerning everything. I mean, are we supposed to get lesson ready by 12 o'clock and deliver it?
Right, you are going to do everything, Sumad.
Huh?
Okay, no, look, I don't want to impose on you a specific lesson that you are going to teach, right, and so on.
Yeah.
You're free, right? We can keep in touch together via WhatsApp and so on. What do you suggest? Okay. If you want me to suggest something, I will suggest, right? But I would like you to share with me your suggestions so that this lesson becomes original and so on, right? You already
will be on contact after.
You are already on the field, right? Stay in touch ان شاء الله سي معاذ وخاصة سي محمد. ما زال سي معاذ راه تبارك الله سنوات وهو خدام great as a professional teacher.
We are novice teachers in this.
No, you're not.
It's a totally different thing.
الواحد إلا بغى يتهرب من المسؤولية يقول ما عرفت. العلم والمسؤولية راه كل شيء عنده علم خصو تضبطه.
سي عبد الواحد.
مرحبا سي محمد.
Can we maybe
speak
about a more practical scenario? So if you have answered one of the questions I had, which is which application to use. So I'm going to be using Zoom. I will definitely prepare a lesson plan in the background as per the template shared. So will it make sense to you as a very experienced, I would say, teacher here, if I share with you a screen that is a page from a textbook about a certain grammar lesson, and then I'm going to be taking you through that sheet or 2 or 3 different slides from the PDF textbook that I have, explain to you what the rule is, what examples are of this rule, how it applies, and then the last sheet will have some examples, or we'll have some exercises, some fill in the blanks with the correct word or things like that. Does it make sense to you, something like this?
I feel scared when we talk about explaining grammar rules and so on, where I say forget about rules when it comes to kids. Not forget about rules. I mean, don't didactively introduce them, right? Deductive method can be used basically with adult learners. You introduce the rule, you explain motor praxis, and then, right, come up with examples and so on. But with the kids need to have fun, right? Look at them, have fun, right? And so on, communicate, use of props. I don't know if you have some props. Do you have kids at home, right? Okay, so look at this, what is that, right? Okay, so this is how you try to make, invest in a props, materials, anything, realia, whatever you have, right? So we can make use of different materials, right? Either realia or PDFs as you can, as you said, it's okay, right? Provided that the rule is not introduced directly, right? Okay, better to be smooth, right? Not much grammatical explanation and so on, but you let the students use the language, right, without any problem. Let me okay, so I don't know here, right, if it's possible. All right, so okay, so I just want to show you an example, concrete example of how I deal with my kid. I have a 4-year kid, right? Hussam, right, a 4-year kid, my eyes, right? So I teach him the language this way, right? Just through playing and so on, and through modeling and drilling is very important. Instead of telling the students, you do this, you add ing, and if you want present continue, they get lost, right? So they don't know what is that. That's an academic lesson, right? Tell that to university students or high school students. But with kids, you bear in mind the rule. You can show pictures of different, people doing different activities. You try to seize the picture, right? Okay, ask some questions about the picture. What do you have there in the picture? Okay, so they are going to interact with you, right? Especially try to draw on their background knowledge, right? Okay, they already know some basic words and so on, ball, cat, and so. Then you ask questions about, the picture, and then you ask about the activity, right? What are these people doing, right? And then you insist. Right, you insist on, right, you drill students, you insist on them to repeat the structure, right, the statement as it should be, right, make it using the ing and so on. And sometimes you have to act, right, for the ing. They are familiar with me with my gesture, right, as far as the ing when I say sin, they say in. Right, they are familiar with that. I say, okay, what I eat, this I am eating, right? Okay, so they have to add the ing. So these are some of the routines that we so think about pictures, think about some very simple examples, right? You can make use of a video clip if you want, but a picture is better to avoid any technical problem using the video and sharing the sound and so on, right? Inshallah, we'll discuss this together, inshallah, after a while. If you have any problem, let's keep in touch via WhatsApp, right? So that we can, let's say, decide exactly on how to proceed and how to make your list, inshallah, right, smooth and fun. Yes.
Just one thing, please.
Come on.
Just one thing, sir, for the WhatsApp group. Are you going to do it these days or after the?
When you decide, normally beyond, right? The WhatsApp group, I decided to create it the end of this training, with, of course, with your permission, as I said before. I don't want to add. Some of my friends, maybe Sim Mohammed, suggested to create it and add the participant. I say no, I should take their permission first, right? Okay, because it might be a disturbance for some people, right? And when you decide, inshallah, and feel free to raise questions or send any messages if you have any technical question. Yes, come on, Si Saeed.
It was really
marhaba, Si Saeed, marhaba. Right, thank you.
I do congratulate you, and it was really
thank you so much. We really enjoy your being here.
We are waiting for more. Now, unfortunately, for tomorrow, I will be. I will not be available now. I'm engaged in a master's program, and
no worries. Inshallah, the lesson will be recorded and everything will be shared with you. Inshallah, right?
Inshallah, and we will have the chance, inshallah, to squeeze you more. after the
شوف والله اللي عالم والله لا عين شويه كاع وكذا ولكن الحمد لله right يعني كان خصني نرتاح دابا كلشي الوليدات مشاو يتعوطلوا مع راسهم الحمد لله مرحبا right لا بالنسبه لهذا لا تتحرجوا يعني في السؤال وكذا واحنا نتعلم جميعا اللي عنده شي حاجه مرحبا right ان شاء الله نبارطاجيو الاكسبيرينس مجموعين ونتعلموا مجموعين مرحبا انا عندي شحال من هذه اللي كنتبعني شي شويه راه many times بالنسبه اللي كيسول على البروسيس وكيفاش كذا نصون وكيفاش نبدا كيفاش نتفاعل قالت راه كاينين اللي كيشوفوا بعض المره من راي واحد شورت 20 minute ستوري اون فيسبوك كان بابليش مره قالت فوالا اغلبيه راه شاف كيفاش كنتفاعل المهم خص التلاميذ يحسوا راه فوالا يولفوك ويعرفوا يحسوا بالوجود ديالك نصور ماشي نكون انا concerned it shouldn't be the lesson should not be structure oriented it should be as Mr Taoufik said learner centered شوف learner hi great how are you great are you fine oh really okay so you communicate with the students forget about the materials and so on and then of course you can share the materials and so on but focus on students using the language and communicating. Okay, that's fine. Thank you very much, Mr. Saeed. Yes, any more addition before we close let's say this session? Thank you a lot. Welcome, Mrs. Afab, welcome. All right, that's it. Great. So let's call it a day, and inshallah we shall meet tomorrow and continue inshallah our sessions. Okay, thank you very much for your patience. It's 1 hour, great, beyond the right time. So sorry for taking you for so long because of this discussions and your questions and so on and so forth. Great. So Al-Akharun, Si Samir and the others, Rashida and Nizha, Afaf, great. Get ready inshallah for the demo lessons soon. Bi-idhnillah ta'ala. Great. All the best and see you next time inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Yeah. All the best, guys. Thank you. Bismillah.